Hey there, students. Today we're going to look at a personal narrative that was submitted through the Common App system that helped a student get into Yale University. I'm Stephen Shiflett, and I've coached hundreds and hundreds of students through thousands of college app essays, helping them get into some of the most prestigious universities around the world. Hopefully, these videos will help you out too. So let's just get started, and don't forget to subscribe.
I stood with my back to the class, trying to keep a smile as I stared at the little girl in front of me. She waved and politely but firmly repeated, "I don't want to join." "But why?" was the only thing I could think to ask. "It's boring," she responded simply, gently. I didn't want her to leave. "You'll see that it's not, if you just come and try," I said as softly as I could. Finally, she shrugged and sat back at her computer. For the third year in a row, I was in Gordes, a village in rural Turkey, trying to get this young girl and several other students to participate in STEM field activities I had designed. After volunteering in 2 school community projects, I had felt the curricula for these projects, designed back in 2007, needed improvement. We weren't making enough of an impact with the children since the curriculum only included activities such as watercolor paintings, playing football, and dancing, things children could already do by themselves. So I wanted to introduce something new. With the project I initiated, the children who had never seen an amusement park before rode the world's biggest roller coasters ever seen, traveled to cities they hadn't ever heard of, and became the first Turkish astronauts to walk on the moon, all through a pair of virtual reality glasses. As an aspiring computer scientist, I wanted to inspire as many children as possible to become engineers, scientists, and innovators of the future. Knowing that the best way to catch the attention of 12-year-olds was through fun and creativity, I embellished the project with such magical technological activities in addition to teaching them how to code on Scratch. I saw how much they enjoyed the experience when their laughter and screams echoed through the classroom. However, for some reason, I couldn't pull that one little girl in. Trying to understand why, it dawned on me that it wasn't the single girl from Gordes I was talking to. I was confronting a whole cultural notion in which she didn't have a place in that room full of computers and electric cables. Soon after, I saw that she was struggling. I assisted her, and together we completed her labyrinth. While she liked the idea of creating her very own game, she still wasn't as impressed as I'd hoped. I racked my brain for creative ways I could make this labyrinth game more interesting. Together, we added new features such as display alerts and a 2-player option. With every addition, I can see that little by little, her frown was turning into a smile, which encouraged me even more. At the end, we transformed that basic labyrinth game into a colorful, interactive, and multiplayer game that she was proud of creating. After it ended, she approached me and with a mixture of happiness and embarrassment and said, "I thought I would hate coding, but now I love it after seeing all the things I can do with it." I realized that I enjoy being a change maker. I was capable of, and in fact responsible for, changing the things around me, whether it was revitalizing the curriculum of a traditional project or shattering the glass ceilings put on girls. I am definitely not done yet. By being a member of my school's advisory board of community projects and the outreach coordinator of our robotics team, I am making sure that we establish the most impactful projects and touch as many lives as possible. Now that I'm about to start the computing education I have been dreaming of for years, I am more excited than ever to expand my own horizons and hopefully, in turn, share my passion with others. Okay, so let's talk about what's good about this essay. And you can always find my notes at populationme.com. under the college app coaching section. Okay, so first the content. Alara tells a nice, sincere story about overcoming a seemingly small obstacle, but it's very important and personal to her. This is in the scheme of a bigger community involvement project. She's not telling us she's changed the whole world. She's telling us about wanting to change the world, or implying it, through changing the perception of education for girls in Turkey. She implies that she can change perceptions of STEM for one girl, then it could be possible for a whole culture. So, the essay tells us she can be a great leader. That's something else that the content has going for it. She can work well with people of all ages, something not all computer scientists are skilled at. Also, she can work at something until she finds a solution. She doesn't give up. She doesn't tell us that, but she shows it. And the less obvious, I've kind of alluded to it, and without telling us explicitly, she's showing us the importance of programmers and developers using or understanding the end user. See, that's not stated anywhere in there. But she's letting acceptance committees of computer science departments know that she understands user interface design. I know that doesn't seem obvious, but it's in there. And that's not something that all computer scientists are good at. They're known quite for the opposite, okay? So now let's talk about the delivery of the story. She begins with the complication or the problem here in the beginning. One little girl isn't excited about learning STEM or the computer program that they're developing. She doesn't talk abstractly about it all. She gives us the story with dialogue. It starts like a story. We can see the little girl complaining. We can imagine Laura's frustration and feel for her. We are along for her journey as she begins to inspire the girl. And by the end, we are on board with her newfound optimism. See, it doesn't end on a sour, dramatic note. Okay, she didn't begin with a terrible tragedy or trauma, but with an important complication that has implications for the society around her. And then she doesn't end it with pessimism, okay? By the end, it's optimistic. Now then, the mechanics of the essay, as all of yours should be, it's free of spelling and grammatical errors. It's organized well with helpful use of paragraphs. I mean, especially in the beginning with dialogue. And then she gets into a deeper discussion. And so she has a long paragraph, and then she has a smaller one to give a different kind of view. She uses variation of complex and simple sentence structures, even though her vocabulary, besides the jargon of computer science, is quite simple. Many of the sentences are longer, but then she also has shorter sentences as well. So overall, well done, without having to write a deep, complex philosophical piece. And remember, this helped her get into Yale. I mean, of course, you have to have the grades and the curriculars and the SAT scores and everything. But this, at least, didn't hurt her, but it helped her get into Yale. She told a memorable story and showed some of what acceptance committees need to hear. She will work hard to overcome an obstacle. She's a great leader and can work well with other people of all ages. Bonus, she conveys that she is skilled in her chosen field. Now that's not necessary, but helpful here. And she wants to change the perception of women's place in her society, the Turkish society, especially villages in the East. Okay, well, that concludes it. And don't forget that you can get a copy of all these at populationme.com.
So there you go, students. Another successful essay explained. If you're liking these videos, please subscribe to my channel here, watch another video there, ring that bell wherever it is so that you can get notifications. And good luck, get busy, and take care.